I'm going to show you 8 fragrances that are some of the most powerful, most projecting, room-filling, intoxicating scent trail fragrances. Some of them are very well blind buy worthy, and some of them are very much affordable for a niche fragrance. The first fragrance is coming from by Kilian. By Kilian is never talked about on many channels, at least on this channel, because of the price. Value is over $300 average price for 50 milliliter bottles, but I got this one, Musk Oud from 2013, with a special price. And if you could find it or maybe even sample it, I think you might like it. I'll just tell you what it smells like. You have rose, rum, and smoky incense that is blended so well with little flurries of vanilla hidden in there. You also have patchouli rum inside here. Now this price for this bottle is high, but if you can find even a scent sprayer for this, or a sampler, you know, a decant, you might do yourself well if you like the oud notes. The opening is slightly boozy in Kilian Musk Oud. From the rum, you get a blast of citrus in the opening as well. That transitions into a beautifully well blended symphony of roses, musk, spices, geranium, cypress, and other green notes that are all dominant, yet you can pick them all out perfectly. I love the rum note inside here mixed with the oud. The combination, after it's all said and done, is so interesting because it gives you a clean, soapy vibe with a citrus rum undertone that's so strong up close, but in the air it smells so good and sexy. The oud comes out in here a little further down, say 30, 45, 50 minutes later, and it's not that dirty fecal oud you're thinking about, but it's not a calm oud, it's an untamed oud that comes out when it wants to. It's very well done. It starts to emerge later and it mixes with the green notes that are in here. You got the cypress and the artemisia. Those are like herbs and green notes. These notes after 1 hour brings this fragrance to a smoky, musky, elegant, earthy base with a let's go out and party, let's go have a nice dinner vibe. Don't be afraid of the oud and Musk Oud because it is not loud. It's perfectly well blended in the composition. Musk Oud is not exactly fecal. It is not nasty either. I will highly recommend the oud in this. I've never smelled anything like it. You've got the patchouli vanilla in the base, which is just sprinkled in perfectly, and all the notes transition seamlessly when you smell this thing, and you're like, wow. The longevity on this for me was 6 hours. Everyone else is claiming 8 to 10 hours, but the projection was not bad for 2 to 3 hours. The weather is best in early spring, you know, right when it's from winter to spring, like right about now. And the compliments on this are very, very good. Your age group for this, I think 22, 23-year-old can start wearing this fragrance for date night especially, or you can go out on occasions for nice dinner. Just wear it the way you want to wear it. And I would suggest 2 sprays to 4 sprays on this, especially if you're not used to such fragrances. Another fragrance with the same title, but it's not the same elegance and same highest quality fragrance. This one here is called Musk Oud by Rihanna. It basically is a fragrance that's made in Dubai that's $35, where this one was $400. But this one is different. It's got leather and saffron and oud and berry notes in it. It's got thick, rich leather tobacco mixed with hints of berries, and it is not that masculine, so to speak. It's like right on the borderline of masculine. It's perfectly blended. The scent trail when you walk around with this $35 fragrance is huge, as well as the longevity is 8-10 hours. Some people claim 24 hours with this fragrance. It is very clean, very luxurious, and easy to wear. If you're looking for a Musk Oud, you can see the juice color of it to give you an idea. That's what you're dealing with. I've dented this bottle. Some people could, to give you a visual, think about Spice Bomb with added berry notes in the background. It's not Spice Bomb, but it's got that DNA with a fruity berry note in the background. A lot, not as spicy. Next up, you have Safe to Blind by Mancera Cedrat Boise, which has a grapefruit opening, and it adds attitude to your outfit. And I also love to wear this in the summertime with casual clothes for some reason. You have black currant and Sicilian lemons and bergamots. Everything's natural and imported. Lots of fruits in this composition. And the story for this fragrance is one guy bought it. He told me that he only bought the little bitty 2 milliliter decant, and he sprayed it in the first 5 minutes. He's like, oh, thank God I did not blind buy it. This fragrance sucks. That's what he said to me. He's also wrote it on the blog, and 5 minutes later and 15 minutes later, he kept smelling and kept smelling his hand, kept smelling his hand, and he fell in love with this dusky sandalwood dry down fragrance. The opening is like a pineapple being fired up on a grill. The guy decided to buy a full bottle after he went off on it and judged it too soon. So this is best for warmer weather, ages 25 and up. Longevity is outstanding. And just the opening, again, you can smell like a thick grapefruit rind, very strong, to give you an idea. The guy that furthermore didn't want to blind buy Cedrat Boise also told me at work he got 5 compliments the first day he wore it, and somebody texted him even and said, dude, let me know what fragrance you're wearing. I want to get that. Next up, we have a Baccarat Rouge 540 cologne because it's called Mancera Instant Crush. I love this fragrance. I demolished this bottle. It's very nice for date night. It's very nice that it smells similar in the opening to this famous $400 fragrance I just mentioned, BR 540. You've got saffron, ginger, 2 kinds of oranges in here, both bitter and sweet oranges in here. They picked their ingredients from the southern coasts of Italy to give you an idea, and lots of jasmine in the opening and roses. And you can pick that out a lot. You also have the sandalwood. Oak moss is the stuff that grows on the tree to give it some depth and greenness. You also have some vanilla and musk in here. The vanilla is from Madagascar, so you're thinking about a lighter vanilla musk. The composition is sexy. All ages and genders can wear this. Highly versatile. It's not loud, but it's not quiet, and it's the kind of fragrance that leaves the scent trail when you leave the room. It's a room filler. Sweet and spicy like you've never experienced before. Mass appealing, and everyone that I've talked to likes it. They never said anything bad about it. The way the scent trail performs, meaning the scent sillage, is incredible on Mancera Instant Crush, and your scent bubble projection is also very, very good on Mancera. Here's another one from 2013 called Mancera Roses and Chocolate. You've got a cacao powder. When the chocolate comes in, it's supposed to be a dark chocolate. Actually, the roses in this chocolate makes me think of milk chocolate, but not really. The fragrance actually develops that dark chocolate, gives it a touch of masculinity. It's unique, sweet, and also complex and perfectly blended. If you like gourmand fragrances, you'll love it. One guy wore this, and I read this on a fragrance magazine, Chocolate Greedy. Like, that's his most favorite fragrance, and Tom Ford Noir de Noir, which are fragrances that appeal to women. So he wore this one day going out to a bar and nightclub, and he sprayed it 4 times more than usual. So usually a person with a pressurized sprayer might spray twice, and this guy sprayed it like 8 times all over himself. And on that night, he was at the club, and it was gyrating, pulsing house music. And 8, he said 8 strange women, meaning like he did not know them, came up to him and said, is that you that smells so good? Some of them had their boyfriends with them, and some of them he danced with and got their phone number. All in all, he said, this is his new fragrance. It makes sense because roses and chocolate's an actual aphrodisiac, is it not? And you give roses to a woman, they get a familiar scent in their brain. So if they smell roses or chocolate, it only makes them think of good things. So if you're wearing it, it'll only please those around you. The opposite of roses and chocolate is roses and vanilla. It's got some lemon in the opening with a huge burst of roses and a combination of vanilla, sugar, of lemon, but the rose gives it a nice balance. It also smells like coffee for some reason after you spray it on. After 15 minutes, the notes of rose, sugar, and vanilla are still there, but not as sweet as in the opening. Once you hit the 2-hour mark on roses and vanilla, the notes of rose, vanilla, and sugar are still there, but a bit of white musk comes into the play. Roses and vanilla, I wore this to the gym. I got so many compliments. I've gotten 12 hours out of this fragrance before. The scent was still there, and the next morning, if you don't shower, it'll still be on you. If you spray your clothes, it'll be on there for days. The scent can fill a room, so be careful. It's some of these fragrances by Mancera, you start out by warming them up like you would a car and spray it 2 times, see how you feel, see how the reactions are, and then you might spray 2 to 4 more times if you really want to go in hardcore. The next fragrance I just sprayed in this room, it's right here. It's called Amouage Interlude Man. It's one of the best incense fragrances if you like spicy incense fragrances, woody, leathery, and dark. Do you like those kind of notes? It's very resinous, and after I sprayed it, it was piercing my nose. I can still smell it. It's here, and I sprayed it like 30 minutes ago before this video started. Spicy, smoky fragrance. If you want 12 hours, this is called a Blue Beast. If you want a similar scent, cheaper, this is about $300. Find yourself something called Supremacy Incense. I also sprayed this right after this just to make sure they smelled exactly alike in the opening. This is a highly much more elegant and more natural fragrances, but you can't go wrong with either of these, $35 or $300. This one lasts a little bit shorter, like 8 hours. Next up, you have the Iris, Amouage Interlude Iris, which is actually just simply a lighter version of this, because the Iris tones it down and makes it more wearable. And I love the combination of this fragrance because you can wear it in all situations. Right when you smell it, it gives you that hint of violets and florals in it. It's an eau de parfum. It's made in Oman. 25% oils in here too. It lasts forever. I don't care what they say, this thing lasts as long as this, if not longer. The projection is kind of calmed down. For this one, it projects like a beast mode. Either one of these, don't spray too much because they can go to work on your sinuses. All year long for either of these, if you like incense. People say to wear them in the cold, but I wear them anytime I feel like it. To sum it up, Amouage Interlude Black Iris is a more wearable version than Amouage Interlude Man. Make sure you find it from a reputable seller and don't buy anything that says Russian Federation off eBay. Price versus juice value on this fragrance, A-OK. So to recap what we talked about, these Manceras are perfect for blind buy. The roses and chocolate, the Instinct Crush, especially the Cedrat Boise, and the Roses Vanille. Then the next one you want to talk about is this. I am not giving you a full review. It's called Stronger With You Intensely. And I'll just tell you, I was on an airplane, landed in an airport. It was a duty-free shop. I'm on my way to get baggage claim. I stopped in there just for a second because I saw the fragrances as I was walking by, a whole wall of fragrances, and I said, oh, I've never smelled Stronger With You Intensely. Let me spray it on a card. Sprayed it on a card, walked out 30 feet, smelled it, fell instantly in love, went back in and paid for it $103 with tax. Thing I know, behind me, a lady was smelling this fragrance. Beautiful woman traveler with the Louis Vuitton bag, telling her friend, my husband better like this. Oh my God, I love this fragrance. And she was buying one too. And I told her, hey, I'm buying one too. This is basically Stronger With You Intensely, just like it says, and I will do you a full review soon. It's an amazing fragrance that lasts eternally as well. It's a room filler fragrance, and this is just for eye candy. Let us flip the camera over to you now and tell me, do you have any experiences with what I talked about? Comment down below to give other viewers your perspective, or tell us some of your room filling, longest lasting, most intoxicating fragrance, and I'll see you on the next video.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Thank you.